So thank you for my introduction. And as David mentioned, I work for Access Employment. For those of you who don't know, Access Employment is an employment service provider that's funded through various levels of the government that supports job seekers with finding employment. And our focus has always been on newcomers and refugees, while we do serve the greater Canadian job seekers as well. Our vision is really to see a full inclusive labor market that really reflects the diversity of Canada. And we assist job seekers, as I mentioned, from diverse backgrounds who are facing barriers to employment. So today in our presentation, I will share a little bit more about Access, but how our program model can kind of really support refugees as they are entering into Canada, and share some strategies that you can share with refugees, and also some collaborations and support that can kind of get them into their first job or long-term success as well. So with Access, our three values are impact, inclusion, and innovation. So any work that we do, we want to ensure that there's impact for the job seeker. Inclusion as well is really important to recognizing individuals' lived experiences, where they're coming from, and how we can support them through a client-centered approach. This also goes for our staff as well. So any programming and any delivery, inclusion is always a top of mind. And lastly, innovation, recognizing the diverse needs of job seekers, but also the labor market. One of our goals is always to be innovative and recreate program models that can really support job seekers to get them to long-term success. Just a little bit about kind of our results within the last past year. We are a location, so we're based in the Toronto and the GTAA. We have over 7 sites, starting from Scarborough, ranging into Mississauga. Annually, we see about 56,000 job seekers. We also have pre-arrival support. So we do support job seekers who have received their PR, and support them through coming to Canada. We have a diverse range of employers within our network. When our targets every year, we see 85% of our clients either securing employment or going into employment and education and training as well. 80%, 87% of our clients are immigrants. And so I just gotta move this. And we have over 39 plus years of experience delivering employment and recruitment services. Okay. So just a little bit about our program model and how our program model kind of really supports refugees with long-term success. So one of our main focuses, so we have 6 tiers, and one of our focus is really leveraging the labor market and industry engagement. We know that in order to support a job seeker, we also need to know what is happening in the labor market, what our employers look for. So when supporting a newcomer and a refugee coming, what we really look at is leveraging the labor market. We have advisory committees that can really help us determine what do we need to do to pivot our program. We participate in program design as well. And in terms of leveraging our employers, we also share the diverse skills of our of our job seekers. Although, Canadian experience, employers do look at that, but what we really advocate experience is experience, and we work with our employers to understand the experience and skills that newcomers are coming to. So we look at to have different types of hiring events, sector-specific programs to really hire candidates. A second part of our program is future proofing. So what the fancy word is to ensure that there's upskilling, and that we're collaborating with businesses to ensure that any of our job seekers, or even when job seekers do find employment, that their skills are being upskilled and they have the skills for the future. So we do ensure that newcomers are also able to navigate workplace ambiguity. As a newcomer in your home country, to here, the workplace may look different, language may look different, understanding how to use a pay stub. So one of those things is that we ensure that we're always having that growth mindset for newcomers. We also look at embedding in our program technical training. So we always connect with industry with professionals to really look at how technical training can support. One of our trainings that we offer all our job seekers and everyone is a platform called IBM Skills Build. So really looking at how we can upskill individuals through different pathways. So with IBM Skills Build, for example, it's a free training platform when individuals access through Access, and it can give them relevant industry knowledge to help them. So one of the things when looking at long-term success is looking at how we can provide that soft skills, but also that technical skills. And we work with our job seekers to provide that technical skills. Collaboration and mentorship is one of our key things at Access. We have a program calling like speed mentoring and support, which I'll speak to, but really looking at like how we can collaborate with community partners to support a job seeker, providing wraparound support. If it's, although we are kind of in the business of employment, we work alongside many of our partners that provide language and coaching. We also offer Talk English Cafe because we know as you are settling, your journey is not just finding employment, it's also language as well. Part of our programs that we have are sector specific programs. So those are our Bridger programs, which I'll talk to a bit in a second, but really looking at connecting with different sectors to bring them into our programming, learning and understanding like the challenges of the sector and how we can help our job seekers acquire those skills. And lastly, a part of our program model is retention and mobility. It's great to find someone work, but the retention to long-term sustainability and ensuring that individuals have the needs to kind of continue to grow and grow within their workforce is embedded in all our program model. So just a little bit about some of our programming here. So we do provide jobs. One of our programs is employment is funded by the provincial government. It's called Employment Ontario. And what we do is to provide job seekers with really that effective job searching. When we work with our job seekers for job training, we create kind of what is an action plan. And that's really where we look at some of the three, looking at how we can support job seekers from being a job seeker to employment. So job training can look at workshops, and some of the workshop themes is maybe understanding the Canadian labor market, as I mentioned, how to network and what does networking look like, how to create a targeted resume, how to use AI within your job search. That's done through a form of like one-on-one and group setting. And we create really what is customized action plans because when an individual is job searching, it's not a cookie cutter blanket approach. Every job seeker is going to have unique needs, and it's really what we can support with is providing and customized plan that really focuses on their goals. A large part of our work that we do and collaborating with community partners is looking at how to get connecting with employers and reaching out to employers to ensure that they're hiring our job seekers. And as I mentioned, part of our program services is retention support. So we don't only support job seekers once they find work, we support them up to a year to ensure that they have effective retention within a program. So what does a client assessment look like in really creating an effective pathway? So the first thing that we do, and what we always recommend is to really have a conversation with that job, with an individual, really understand their background, their goals, and their barriers. What type of work have they done in their home country? What type of, a lot of the looking at their transferable skills, looking at maybe some of the challenges that they may have to enter into the labor market and really create like a customized action plan. Some of the three top tips that we kind of provide job seekers is to really kind of understand kind of where your career pathway may be. If you were in the banking profession back home, what does it take to enter into the banking profession here? How do you tailor your resume to really look at how it aligns? Also, part of it is kind of looking at that networking piece, understanding coming to Canada and being a job seeker for anyone can be very lonely. So building that network, if it is through networks like yours or networks through Access Employment or different churches. A network can be anyone. So that's one of the things that we really encourage is kind of developing and creating a network and also taking advantage of different workshops and different to kind of really help you kind of gain some of those skills. Part of our intake assessment that we talk about with our job seekers is really looking at your education, ensuring that your international education aligns with the Canadian labor market, and what do you need to kind of upskill? What do you need to pivot from? What programs and trainings that are there out there that's maybe offered by Access? I know our friends at Achieve is here and Skillshare Ontario. There are a lot of training programs that can really support individuals, and that's part of our assessment that we do. What can we kind of offer and provide that wraparound supports to ensure that someone is entering into either a training or learning? Credentials assessment is really important, and most of when individuals come in, we refer them to West to get their credentials assessed to kind of help us interpret what kind of career path can they do with their existing education and moving on to looking to education within Canada. And lastly, collaboration. We can't do support a job seeker on our own. So it's really looking at matching to sector specific programs. If it's in-house within Access, if it's out of the province, we do have community partners. If it's our other community partners across the street, connecting individuals to bridging programs and wraparound services that can support. So when we look at creating long-term success, we keep these kind of four pillars in mind of it's not just about upskilling. It's not just about the soft skills and having your resume and communication. It's also looking at that technical skills, looking at that credentials, and then collaborating with the community partners. So part of our programs and services is that job search support, so customized one-on-one support, connection to employers if that's through different engagement, and connection to employers is not necessarily only to hire. It is to, attend networking events, maybe it's panel discussions, coming into a mentoring session. And then also looking at and if any of the programs align with that job seeker. So looking at our bridging program. So our bridging programs, what it does is recognize individuals' experience back home and try to bridge that gap from their experience in their home country to Canadian experience. So some of our service enhancements that we do to support job seekers with long-term success, mentoring is one of our key focuses. So if anyone's ever heard of or been to like speed dating, our speed mentoring is very similar. It's one-on-one in a room with employers and kind of having that 5 minute, 10 minute conversation. Also, job fairs, one of the bigger great things about job fairs, yes, it's to get someone employed, but referring refugees and newcomers to job fairs, it also helps them build networking with other job seekers that are in a similar position. Language support, so we have and recommend that you refer clients to something like Talk English Cafe, where it is more of an informal conversation where, again, they get to meet individuals but also kind of have conversation and have a cup of coffee and practice their speaking and personalized career coaching. And that's kind of done in any of our programs, really that personalized support. As I mentioned, our mentoring opportunity, so speed mentoring. We also offer speed mentoring in French, so en français, and then also referring to our community partners at Triac, so to help individuals get a mentor, and particularly newcomers and immigrants, to get a mentor on a one-on-one relationship to kind of continue to support their job searching. Part of building long-term employment success is also looking at how to utilize the online platforms. So one of the things that we offer at Access is webinars and online workshops that are readily available on our e-access platform. We also have live in person online workshops and also online hiring events to really connect the employers. So this is where we really want to extend our reach that job seekers may be able to find work even without having to kind of go into an in-person job fair. We have sector-specific programs. That's our bridging programs that I have mentioned before. So some include advanced manufacturing, early childhood engineering, healthcare, and trades. And our eligibility for our programs really vary by program, but we do support the job seeker to find the right path and the right goal to really support them with their job searching. Okay, just a little bit of our sponsors and our funders, and then I will stop sharing to hand it over back.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. Manisha, great presentation. I learned tons myself, and I certainly see some great possibilities between the two organizations. So that was a really great presentation. I will share my screen. Can everybody see my screen? Great. Thank you very much. So I will continue just looking at opportunities for newcomers, refugees, asylum seekers specific to the trades. I know we hear a lot about trades right now. They're in demand. I know we've heard, some more funding coming out federally. Which is all wonderful, but I can say that the apprenticeship service can be overwhelming and a bit challenging to navigate. So I'm going to just quickly kind of talk about who Skilled Trades is for anybody who is unaware of. We normally are referred to as STO, who we are, what we do, and then maybe how that could translate into possible career opportunities and skills development. So Skilled Trades Ontario, we are responsible for skilled trade certification in Ontario. So we're going to administer the apprenticeship programs. We're going to create the curriculums. We're going to issue licenses and certificates of apprenticeships. We also will assess experience and qualifications, which I'll speak to a little bit later, which I think could be a possibility for newcomers as they look at skills they might bring from their previous home countries. We also administer exams. We're going to renew their certificates of qualifications. We also have a public register, and that's specific to we have compulsory and non-compulsory trades. All compulsory trades are listed on our public register. And then we also do a lot of research with the apprenticeship and the trades, which could prove to be really informative and helpful. To Manisha's point, it's important where is the demand? So if you actually go onto Skilled Trades Ontario website, there's 144 trades. You can look at them all, and on most of them, there's a report that will kind of show you where the demand is, which city has more demand, and different reports that I find is really useful when you're looking at potentially having a career in the trades. So some recent updates, just to kind of let you see that, Skilled Trades Ontario is huge. So we have approximately 100,000 active apprentices, almost issuing 2,000 new registrations of apprenticeship each month, issuing about 785 monthly certificates of apprenticeship. Right here, it's showing that we're doing, around 1,900 exams a month with our new regional model. I think in March, we actually did close to 4,000 exams for the month of March. So I'll speak a little bit more about our regional presence. And currently, we have over 25,000 active sponsors in Ontario who could take on an apprentice and help them through the program. So our new regional presence is new to Skilled Trades Ontario. We anybody, I don't know how familiar people are with skilled trades in general. Previously, we were with Ministry of Training, Colleges, Universities, and then it was Ontario College of Trades. Now we're with Skilled Trades Ontario. We've kind of gone back to, if anybody's familiar with the ministry, with the employment training consultants, where they were kind of out and about. So instead of just having centralized phone numbers and you call and maybe get put on hold, we've actually created a regional model. So we have Central, East, West, and North. As David alluded to, I'm the manager of the East, but we certainly cover the whole province. And we've actually recently, beginning of February, opened local offices within our TDAs, so within our community colleges. So most of us have an office at those locations where we can certainly speak to people in person, or we can go out to you. We have what we call apprenticeship advisors. I think we've onboarded about 35 across Ontario. We do presentations. We also, can do one-on-ones. We can do virtual sessions. Later, you'll see the contacts for the East. I can certainly share them for all of Ontario, where you can certainly reach out and email. And we answer our emails, we answer our phones. So we're happy to answer any questions that you might have. And we also have senior processing consultants that we've onboarded as well. So at these locations, we will facilitate exams as well as have the offices to serve the public. So here are regional managers. So we have Murray for Central, myself for the East. Currently onboarding a new regional manager for the West, and for the North, we have Peter. So information for sponsors, that's important. So somebody who would be a sponsor? We can have employer sponsors. So that can be somebody who has a single entity. They employ different tradespeople. As we said, there's 144 trades in Ontario. And they need to have an Ontario address. Now I'm speaking specific, obviously, to Ontario. And they need to have qualified trainers that they can bring on these apprentices and mentor them. We also have group sponsors. That can be a great way for a newcomer or refugee or asylum seeker because it can be tricky to find a sponsor. So we do have group sponsors, unions, Support Ontario Youth, Merit, where they have large group sponsors. They do all the kind of applications and processing, which can be a bit sometimes overwhelming, and then they can help find them placements within other organizations. And then we also have individuals or independent operators who might be a contractor, and they also can be a qualified trainer and take somebody on as a mentor or apprentice. So what does a sponsor have to do? They certainly have to have a facility, the staff, the equipment. They need to follow our apprenticeship training standards, our logbooks, and sign off these individuals of their competencies. They need qualifications to conduct the training. And they also need to be willing to permit these apprentices to go to in-school training. Because as we know, apprenticeship, we always say earn while you learn. 80% of your training is done on the job and 20% is done in school usually. And they have to comply with all the relative Ontario legislation, rules, and laws. So what are benefits for sponsors? Why would they take on an apprentice? There are financial incentives. They can also have the ability to train people from the beginning to really fit in with their different roles and responsibilities. So we know that there's a lot of demand right now. We know that many of our tradespeople are looking, getting at that retirement age. There's a big gap to fill. So one of the things that sponsors need to recognize is that investment of a new person can be really great for the future. So yes, it takes some time to, give them the education and training that they need, but it certainly is a way to fill these gaps that are going to be happening and are happening throughout all the trades. So what does apprenticeship look like and what are the benefits of apprenticeship? So this is kind of a great little map. I do believe that this slideshow will be available after. I find this is a great one. If somebody's kind of saying, what is apprenticeship? This is a great visual. So that first step is just exploring all those trades. What do those 144 trades look like? What sort of skills might they have from their home or previous that could be transferable? So just kind of looking at all those. When you go onto Skilled Trades website, it's a really great resource. It's quite easy to navigate. When you go and look at the trades, you will see the curriculum, the logbook. So you can kind of go through and identify, like, do you have any of these competencies or experience that could be applied from a previous role or job or career that you had? And how does that look like and align with possible different careers here? And then our second step is you're going to become an apprentice, and we'll look at what that looks like. Third, we have that kind of roundabout where we're going to learn on the job and we're going to go to class. So, there's that back and forth. Typically, an apprentice is going to be on the job 12 to 18 months before they would receive a school offer. Typically, they're in school for 8 to 9 weeks. They're going to go back, continue to work for another 12 to 18 months before they would receive another offer to go to school. And that cycle continues. Usually we have 2 to 4 levels depending on the trade that they have signed up for. When they're all done that, they're going to complete their apprenticeship. So that sponsor is going to say, yes, they have the competencies, they have the hours, they're attesting to the fact that apprentice meets all of those qualifications. And then they are ready, if there is an exam, to write that exam. Or some do not have certifying exams, and then they would just, have that completion of apprenticeship. When they write their exam, depending on which trade it is, they're either going to get a certificate of qualification or they will also achieve that Red Seal standard if it's a Red Seal trade, which gives them a lot of mobility between the provinces. If it is a Red Seal trade, that's recognized, easy for them to move from different provinces. And once all that's done, certainly, the sky is the limit. Maybe have their own business one day. Maybe they're going to teach, maybe they're going to be in a manufacturer. And also some people start on the tools, but maybe they move into estimating or project management or working in the different suppliers and distributors that exist. So lots of opportunity beyond the tools. Some love the tools, that's great, but certainly different opportunities that they can explore as well. So again, benefits. So earn while you learn, financial incentives, certification, entrepreneurial potential, diverse job opportunities, and skills you can build on because many of them are transferable. So here is where we get into what are those pathways and what do they look like. So we have our traditional apprenticeship pathway. That's where they're going to find a sponsor, what are the requirements to register with that sponsor? And then they're going to start that process of basically working on the job and going to school. One that is quite popular with newcomers is our T pathway, trade equivalency assessment, sometimes now more referred to as trade qualifier. One day we'll align what we're going to call it. And that's for people who have extensive training and experience from their home countries, whatever that can look like. We have a great guideline on our website of what they need to do to put that in. And really, what they're looking for is that these individuals meet the practical components of that trade. So, what does that look like? Well, we'll look at an electrician. Electricians roughly 9,000 hours between on the job and in school training. We would need that um, person to show that they have those hours and practical skill sets. And that goes, we actually have a department, that's all that they look at. And if that package is approved and processed, that individual then goes right, they bypass all that apprenticeship, they bypass all that schooling, and they become eligible to write those final exams, which gives them lots of opportunities, whether it's, securing employment or again, if successful, then maybe their own business, teaching, whatever that can look like. So that's a very popular pathway. What is that registration process? We want to confirm their eligibility. So age, they're legally able to work in Canada, and then we have that academic entry requirement. So each trade's a little bit different. It could be grade 10 or grade 12. Anisha spoke about WES and certifying those credentials. That's where we would do that if they have their transcripts, diplomas, getting those recognized and then allowing them to be registered apprentices. Finding a sponsor, so that they need to find that sponsor, that can be sometimes challenging, but you know what? I think like with programs like Manisha with Access, they could probably assist with that. Again, often our large group sponsors can help with that also. I know that World Skills, there's different organizations that can help individuals find that sponsor, and then they're going to register, which is mainly all done digitally. If they're running into issues, though, of course, they can reach out to one of us and we can help with that process. This is a really interesting one because we've just talked about that academic entry requirement. One of the things that we recognized is that can create barriers for newcomers. Sometimes they can't get those credentials. Maybe their school was burnt down, maybe there was wars, and sometimes it's just not that easy to even obtain those credentials for them to go to an organization like WES and have them approved and authorized. So this is called the Experience Apprenticeship Pathway, EAP. There's a form that they fill out, and basically if this individual is 21 years of age or older, or has not been in school for any sort of formal schooling for at least 3 years, this is a way that they can um, kind of bypass that academic entry requirement. Again, this was very much specifically designed for those newcomers or individuals who potentially can't get those organizations. We always, of course, are going to promote that everyone do those upskilling. And there's so many organizations like Manisha's or Literacy Link and to try to obtain that upskilling. But sometimes it's just not feasible. They need to work, they need to support their families, they want to. So this is kind of a pathway that is relatively new. It's under BOSTA, which is our overarching regulation for the trades. And this is something that we're seeing, is removing a lot of barriers for those individuals who might not have been able to become a registered apprentice. So I think this is a great pathway to look at for individuals who might not be able to have their credentials recognized. So during your apprenticeship journey, so here's where, our skilled trades online portal will help support everything. We can help manage that. Most things are done digitally through that portal. Exams, I mean, different supports. Again, should a newcomer, refugee, asylum seeker go through that trade qualifier pathway, they're going right to the exam. So we want to also make sure that they are set up for success because they need to prepare for that exam. And depending if it's a Red Seal exam or an Ontario-based exam, that can be challenging, not because they don't have the practical skill sets, but just sometimes the terminology and the language. What they might know something as might not be the language that we use in Ontario, or if it's a Red Seal standard in Canada. So we want to make sure they have those resources. So we do have an exam support unit that can do that, but there's also amazing organizations out there, Arise, again, those large group sponsors. Mentorship programs who can make sure that when they're going through that process that they are also helping prepare them for that exam. So our digital portal, this is where they're going to, kind of track everything, the sponsors and the apprentices. Again, here's resources at Arise, Apprenticeship Search. I would say Access Now, another great, we're gonna have to add that on to these slides. Those are great, things that we can promote. I'd also like to say that when they're asylum seeker or refugee and they have a 900 series SIN number, so typically a 900 series SIN number, they can register as an apprentice in Ontario, but typically they cannot go to school, not under the ministry funded seats anyhow. So they can register as an apprentice, they can be on the job, they can be working, but they wouldn't be able to do that school component. However, if they are a refugee or asylum seeker, they actually can go to school. So they would need, a work permit that's up to date, a study permit that covers that period of time that they would be in school. So they would be actually eligible for those ministry funded seats, which we know is quite beneficial because out of pocket when it's ministry approved, depending on the program, they're paying about $400 to $800 for those 8 weeks. Alternatively, a 900 series SIN number, if they are not a refugee or asylum seeker, we have had individuals who have, been able to seek funding or other supports through their sponsors, and they can attend school as a fee payer. Of course, that's much more expensive, but it is also another alternative route that we have had some individuals explore and be able to do. But you do need to work with those local TDAs, which are your training delivery agents and community colleges, because it's a little bit unique of a pathway. Each program a little bit different and what that costing can be. I recently did one, and I believe for the 8 weeks was around $4,000. So again, just different pathways that we can look at. A little bit more work behind the scenes, but certainly something that is obtainable and an option. So again, our Stowe website, great resource. There's the QR code that can bring you right to our Stowe website. Check out those 144 trades. What do they look like? Which ones? Look at that, what we call our apprenticeship training standard, often referred to as our logbook. Look at those outlines. What are those competencies? Do you see transferable skills? Could they potentially be a candidate for our trade qualifier and going that route and bypassing school? Also, once they're a registered apprentice, something that I didn't speak of, but if they have the knowledge, we also have exemption exams set up through our training delivery agents. So, maybe they could go and write the exemption test for level one and then they're not going to school for that level and they have passed that also. So there are different ways that we can look at also getting that in school portion and that theory component done. So this is specific to Eastern Ontario. So here's where our different sites are. So we're at Algonquin College, Ottawa. We're at the Pembroke campus. We're at Peterborough, Fleming. We're actually having an exam today. That's why I was a little bit late joining. We have 100 apprentices writing this today at Fleming. They're doing carpenter, plumbing, and electrical there this morning. So I was a little bit late joining as they were getting set up and ready to go. St. Lawrence, Kingston, St. Lawrence, Cornwall, and then Belleville would be our other location. And again, these are for all the other regions. This exists as well. This is just specific to my region. So you'll have my contact information, and if it's not specific to my region, I'll certainly put you in contact with the other regional managers, or if Barb and David think it's a benefit, I can certainly share the contacts for all the regions. Listed below are our apprenticeship advisors, and they represent different areas. So again, Peterborough, Belleville, Pembroke, Kingston, Ottawa, Pembroke, Cornwall. For my area, it'd be similar throughout all the areas, and they're there really to assist you with this process. So, go online. We all say it's all easy. It's easy to navigate. We know that's not always the case. Reach out, email us, call us, and we'll do our very best to simplify the process. And hopefully we can do a little more work behind the scenes if needed to help support these individuals and yourself. You can follow Skilled Trades Ontario, Instagram, X, of course, and we do have YouTube that shows different things. You can follow us on there for different updates and programs that we're involved in.
So today I'm gonna talk about the entrepreneurship program, but I'll start first with walk you through a quick process of how to start or turn your ideas into a real successful business. Then we'll share more about Achieve, who's sponsoring and facilitating this program, and also let you know more about what this program is providing and how we do support newcomers to start their journeys as entrepreneurs in Canada. Let me start first by asking you these quick questions about if you have ever had a business idea or thought about a business idea. Please feel free to use your chat code to say yes or no, or raise your hand. Just let me know if I want to see how many really thought about having a business or thought about this idea could be a good business. David, we can maybe have the count how many are, if any is answering to the chat pod. Well, Zoom again. So we have no and yes,
just
I
one
did.
no. Yes, you got it. I also thought of ideas too, so I'll add my name in that.
Let me share this. I'm starting a business idea here in Canada. I used to be a business owner before landing 10 years ago, but I think starting a business sometimes could be a good idea. And I think also many people would have this thought about why not starting a business or being self-employed, especially for newcomers, by the way, because sometimes they're struggling to find a career here in Canada or find the right fit for their careers and kickstart their job journey or career journey. So starting a business, I think one of the main ideas or one of the good ideas that newcomers would think about. And always to start a business, you need to think about a problem or a solution to solve a problem. You need to think, for example, you noticed there is a gap in a specific product in your city, province, and you think, oh, this would be a good idea to solve this problem and bring that product from outside Canada or outside your province, whatever. So this could be a good way to think about a solution for a problem. And once you identify the solution, you can turn it into a clear, actionable opportunity that is focusing on value and target audience. You have an idea, you turn it in, you think about it as an opportunity, and then you will need to test this idea and validate your opportunity by collecting feedback, testing the market to try as possible reduce the risk when applying or start launching your business. So a successful business starts with the real problem, turns into a clear opportunity, and validates it with real customers. Now, once you have your idea, you will go through the next steps to build a business plan. And this is your written document that explains what your business is, what it wants to achieve, and how it will succeed. And basically, it outlines your idea, your goals, your strategy, and your financial plan. I know creating a business plan is not an easy thing, but it's not hard, especially with the AI tools that are available now, and you can use it. You use more than one tool or many tools that can help you create your business plan. Think about your business plan as a roadmap that shows how your business will start, grow, and make money. And this will definitely help you with the creating your financial plan, which is a very critical piece of your journey. Like, you need to know how to manage your cost, how to manage your money, how to grow your business and spend the money wisely and in a smart way to reduce the cost. So first, when you are thinking about your financial plan, you need to think about your fixed expenses versus variable expenses. So for example, you need to think about rent. You need to think about salaries for your employees versus thinking about material, things you buy only for like once a while. It depends really on what product or what solution you are offering, what problem you are solving after all. And then you need also to focus on how to grow or what to spend in order to grow your business. For example, your marketing material. And of course, we want to find ways to reduce expenses and get rid of things that we don't need, at least, or buying things, spend money for things that we don't need, at least when starting and launching our businesses. Once you have an idea, understand the cost and what to spend in order to grow your business, you will be able to create your financial plan. And this financial plan, as I mentioned, it's part of your business plan overall. And this will help you to have some break down the cost of your startup company, try to create a projection for 1 to 3 years, and of course, you will have to think about expenses, revenues, profit, all of these elements that you should include in your plan. Once you create your business plan, including your financial plan, this is when you will think about how to fund your business or how to fund your startup. And basically, you will think about the sources or resources you have, like how much money you have in order to spend and launch your business. And also you will think about funds that you can identify, either a grant, investors, or loans. Literally, you cannot apply for any of these sources if you are not really already creating, or you have created your business plan along with your financial plan. Now, you need to then understand your costs, plan for money spending. Then this is your easier way to get funding. The entrepreneurship program will tell you exactly how or where to find these sources of funding. I'm not gonna talk about it or tap on it today, but if you're interested later on, you can join us. We are running some info sessions, networking events, and you can explore more about this, because I know funding always a very interesting topic, and most of our clients, when they join us, they want to know where to get the right fund for their businesses. So to simplify the process, starting a business is not, it should not be overwhelming. It's not easy, but again, it's not that hard or difficult once you understand the process. Just to try to start small, try to test your idea, get some feedback, try to keep improve and take actions according to the feedback you get, improve your business, and eventually you will grow. And remember, it doesn't happen immediately, it happens step by step. So then the key action, then turn your ideas into action and grow step by step. Everything starts with an idea, then a plan to translate the idea. You will try to find some funding, and then launching your business. This is basically your journey, the steps for your journey if you're interested, or you know someone who's interested to start a business. Now, the Empowering Newcomers for Entrepreneurship program is basically about helping, supporting individuals into and turning their dreams into reality, or business entrepreneurial dreams into reality. This program is facilitated by Achieve and funded by TD Bank under the umbrella of TD Ready Commitment Initiative. And Achieve is a leading non-for-profit provider for employment, language newcomer, women, youth, and IT services in the GTA area. Each year, we put more than 100,000 clients onto a faster path to prosperity by making it easier for them to access the services they need when and where they want them. We offer, and these like the number of these programs is always increasing, but like we can say, like we offer a range of over 50 programs and services via online and in person at 8 GTA locations. If you just go to our website, you can have the in-person locations, but of course the online ones, it's like Ontario-wide. And we have some of programs even provided for clients or newcomers outside Ontario. Now we have about 6 pillars for these programs and services that we are providing. Employment services, which is a huge thing. Youth services, we have a great, I've seen some of the questions about youth services. So we have great pillars or programs regarding youth, or providing services for youth, either with employment or settlement, even with their education. Newcomer services, the NIC department, newcomer informational counselors, also language services. We have a big pillar or services, a big portion of services that provided for women, and also IT solutions and services. This is a quick overview about Achieve. It's now the time to give more information about the Empowering Newcomers for Entrepreneurship program. And I can say participants will receive comprehensive customized support services, including specialized online training sessions designed to equip clients with the skills and knowledge necessary to successfully transitioning into being self-employed, and to effectively manage and grow their own startup business. Clients who are joining us, they are either just have an idea, or they have started a business, already launched a business, but not really sure about how to grow it, or maintain the business or their startup companies, or even they are self-employed, sorry, they are employed, but they are looking for some ideas to maybe help them support themselves financially more or increase their income. So, and I will explain also more about the eligibility criteria, but for now, I will walk you through the 2 stages that this program is designed. And we deliver this program in 2 stages. Stage 1, 4 online sessions. This is where clients will understand more about themselves being entrepreneurs. Are they really interested, or does this being self-employed a right fit for them? So we start basically with some self-assessment test to let them know more again about their interest and if this is a right fit for them. And also we will help them to create, once they are certain about their and knowing more about themselves as entrepreneurs, we will help them to build their business plan. That's the key or key benefit of attending our program. The stage 2 will include 8 online sessions providing topics in marketing themselves, cash flow management, AI tools, branding their products if they're interested, networking, like building relationships, and also business etiquettes. All these topics will be discussed through, in total, 12 online sessions. During the stage 2, once they complete stage 1, they will be eligible for one-on-one coaching. I would not say it's mini mentoring stage, but so they will have one or 2 sessions with a business advisor, like our partner, and then also they will be eligible for self-study courses through our the program learning management system. And these courses, of course, will increase their knowledge. It's given at their own pace, and also will be an added value for their resumes, as they will have completing certificates for each program for each course they attend. Now, usually also by the end of each cohort, we run 2 events, one online and one in person. This is when we invite guest speakers to introduce either their services or share their insights or some best tips, practices to help our clients start their businesses or through their journey of launching their startups. Now, we had great through the 2 last years, we had great guest speakers, including speakers from TD themselves, sharing these experiences. And I really enjoyed the only one in-person event or session we run at the end of each cohort to celebrate the milestones that our clients achieve, share their success stories, and help create and foster strong community connections to increase the program visibility. I really enjoy these in-person events, and we had great success stories to share, testimonials, and it's always, if you check my LinkedIn, you can have more even about these stories, and even about either my LinkedIn or Achieve LinkedIn account. I will share maybe at the end. You can have more insights about these events. The eligibility criteria to be accepted in this program, very simple, straightforward. Being a recent immigrant, basically 5 years or less in Canada. This would include in newcomers, PR holders, very recent Canadian citizens, or even claimant refugees, protective refugees. We do accept these as well. Basically, everyone is eligible to start a business in Canada, but that's why maybe the eligibility criteria is it's a bit wide. So that's why it's designed this way.
Ruwaida, I'm giving you a 2-minute time warning.
This is the end. I'm just sharing very quick, like we had through the last year, 156 participants. Out of so far, 26 of these clients or participants have started or launched their businesses. And AI was 100% integrated in this program or with helping them starting their businesses. This is my contact if you're interested to contact us. And then again, I can share this presentation to follow us on our or Achieve social accounts.